say I'm shooting shots straight to the point, just like the podcast. Other teams, they run into my shooters, cause we got that. I killed the game and left the court with no condolence. I'm still gonna shoot my shot, no matter how big the moment is. She ain't like when Bess get on that phone. Yeah. You watch it from the TVs in your homes. Yeah. They finna like and sub and leave a comment down below. Yeah.
Yo, it's your boy Bess, your boy Rell, and your boy Jerrick, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 4, episode 25. Fellas, where y'all been?
We've been on break, The NBA had a little All-Star break, so we needed a little break ourselves. We went through a full NFL season, so we need, get some time to, regroup.
Facts.
I feel you. What's good to have y'all back. Today we got a jam-packed show for y'all. We are going to talk about a lot of NFL news. Trent McDuffie being traded from the Chiefs to the Rams. The Bills trading for DJ Moore. Kyler Murray being released by the Cardinals. Max Crosby and trade rumors. And then our favorite draft prospects for the upcoming NFL draft. Then we're also going to talk about the NBA. Our favorite, keep 3, cut 3. And following that, Tatum will be returning probably tomorrow. We're shooting this episode on Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday, he's probably going to return. So will that make the Celtics the favorites in the East? And then, of course, drama in Los Angeles. Before we get into any of that, as always, we want to thank God for waking us up this morning, allowing us to talk about sports. It's something that we love to do. And without him, we would not be here right now. So let's go ahead and let's get it. But first up, I do have a big announcement to make. We will be adding a 4th member of the Straight to the Point podcast, but it's going to be a little different. All right. He's not going to be on every episode talking with us. He's going to be doing field work. All right. So he's our low key, field agent. He'll be going out to malls and to public places asking questions about sports. All right, my boy Jay Hunt. Make sure I hit him up on TikTok and on Instagram. He's a content creator, and we went to school together. We grew up together practically, so we're gonna join forces and try to make this thing pop. All right, so it should be on the screen. I'm put on the screen his account information, so I can go hit that follow button for him, and then he'll be joining Straight to the Point podcast. All right, but let's go and get things started with big trade. Huge trade. All right. The Kansas City Chiefs went ahead and traded Trent McDuffie to the LA Rams. In this trade, the Rams received Trent McDuffie, and the Chiefs received the 1st round pick, a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and next year's 3rd round pick. All right. So a big blockbuster trade to kind of start off this offseason. Rell, what's your reaction to this move?
Yeah, I just want to say I love the trade for both teams, and I think it was a great start to the offseason. To see the first trades go before the draft, I strongly feel like both teams won this trade. The Rams needed to get that defense better. They had to get that secondary better. That secondary was atrocious last year. They were just giving it up to anybody. So they had to go get Trent McDuffie, a big-time player. And my favorite thing about the Rams is they haven't used a first-round pick. They used 1 first-round pick in the last 8 years, and it's been Jared Verse. And so Sean McVay has had a F them picks mindset, and he did it again with the 29th overall pick. And now looking back at it, he has the 12th overall pick going into this year's draft, so he still has a lot of ammo to work with. And then moving on to the Chiefs side of the ball, you see all the superstars that the Chiefs have. They couldn't pay Trent McDuffie. They just had too many other guys to pay. They literally couldn't afford him, so they still went and got a 1st-round pick for him, still got some other draft capital for him. And I just feel like it was a great trade for both teams. We know the Chiefs are really, really good at drafting, so this 29th overall pick, they're definitely going to make up for it. And just shout out to both teams, man. Trent McDuffie's a 2-time All-Pro corner, just in a top 5 corner, elite corner. So the Rams got a steal out of this one. I can't say a steal, but I just want to say the Rams got a really, really good player, and I felt like the Chiefs got a perfect return, and they didn't have to pay one of the best corners top-level money.
All right, so Rell loves it. Jerry, what's your reaction to this move?
It was perfect for both sides. Like you said, both teams got benefits out of this trade, and also, it was an easy trade to make because it's not like you traded in the same conference or in the same division. So, potentially the only way this trade will hurt you is if y'all meet in the Super Bowl. But it was a good trade on both sides. We know that the Chiefs, they're really good at drafting, and the Rams, they're really good at acquiring already developed, already proven players, and that's what they did with this Trent McDuffie move. The Rams are in win now mode. I don't think people realize that Matthew Stafford's under contract for 1 more year. He's not getting any younger. He's 38 or 37. He's getting old. His play is not declining, but he is getting old, and we don't know how much longer he's going to be in the building. You're in win now mode. You have an older Devontae Adams. The team is ready to win now, and in order to do that, we don't want to take a chance on drafting a corner because, like Rell said, their secondary was atrocious last year. You don't want to take a chance on drafting a corner, and now this corner doesn't pan out. Now you're in the same position you were in. So we're going to go and get a guy who's already proven. That's what Trent McDuffie is. When you look at him, like Russ said, he's a top 5 corner, arguably. Like, he's really, really good at taking away other teams' best player and minimizing their impact. And that's what they're going to need, especially in that NFC with a lot of teams that really like to get the ball in the air. We'll look at the Chiefs. They've hit on their draft picks a lot, like a lot. Looking at trading up to get Xavier Worthy, looking at getting Josh Simmons this year. They traded up. That's actually how they got Patrick Mahomes in recent years. Like, they know, their GM knows what they're doing when it comes to draft picks. And when they go into this draft, they have 9 draft picks in this draft. I guarantee you 3 or 4 of those draft picks will be on the field this year making plays. Like we said, they have 2 first-round picks, the 9th and I want to say the 29th. So this Chiefs team is going to be very scary next year. Like, this is a trade was great for both sides. And honestly, this trade low-key could put both sides in the Super Bowl next year. So I love this trade from both sides.
All right, so Rell, you said that you don't want to call it a steal, but I am going to call it a steal because with the Rams, they had 2 first-round picks, and they was able to flip one for already proven all-pro caliber corner, right? And then you still got a top 15 pick at your disposal. So this is a team with arguably one of the best coaches in the league, a quarterback just won MVP. You got a two-headed monster at receiver. You got Kyron Williams with a good old line. Defensively, you have Jared Verse running the D line, and now you have Trent McDuffie for the secondary. Like, this team on paper is the best team in the league right now. Like, I kind of have to lean that way, especially after this move. Mind you, they still can get a top 15 player in the draft. So I think it was a steal. And hey, Atlanta, what were you doing? I mean, maybe it was worth it, right? Because they traded for James Pierce, or they traded up for Jalen Walker. Which one was it?
Jalen Walker. No. Pierce.
It was Pierce.
Okay, so that didn't work out because Pierce done got in trouble, and we don't
Yeah.
know what his future gonna be. So you done did that, and you done created a monster, a juggernaut in LA. So LA definitely, I think, won this move just because they're in win now. They pushed all the chips to the middle of the table, and they said, "Look, we trying to go and win this thing." On the Chiefs side, we've seen this move before. Like, the Chiefs losing a player is not new, right? L'Jarius Sneed was the most recent all-pro caliber corner that they lost. And when he left, this team did not, like, you couldn't tell he left. Like, the team was still good. The team was still competing, right? I think the year he left, they went to the Super Bowl. And then Tyreek Hill, who they traded a couple years ago, kind of the same trade, except you got a little bit more for Tyreek Hill. They traded him and went to 3 straight Super Bowls. 1, 2. Right, so just because the Chiefs move on from Trent McDuffie, I'm not going to sit here and throw in the towel for the Chiefs, right? We've seen what they can do when they make these trades. Like y'all said, they hit on their draft picks, so they are a team that can make these moves. Some teams can't make these moves because they suck at drafting, right? So I got to keep the guys that I got versus they can say, you know what, go. Because we've seen it before. Marcus Peters, a guy they drafted, said go. Jerry Sneed, they said go. And now Trent McDuffie. So this is nothing new to the Chiefs, and they will be just fine moving forward. So Jerrick said this move can put them both in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to go that far. I do think the Chiefs probably will run it back. But this move, to me, we got to see what happens with the draft picks. We believe they're going to hit on these draft picks for sure, but let's just see what happens with the draft. So speaking of win now, the Buffalo Bills finally made a move. Finally went and said, you know what, we need some help offensively. Let's go and get a wide receiver 1. The Bills went out and traded for DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears. The trade details are the Bills received DJ Moore and a 5th-round pick, while the Chicago Bears receive a 2nd-round pick. Rell, what is your reaction to this news? What's this trade, sorry?
Yeah, so once again, I feel like it was a great trade for both teams. I feel like the Bills, like we said, they need a big-time receiver. They need a elite receiver, somebody that Josh Allen could look to and just throw the ball to. And I feel like they did get that with DJ Moore. And looking towards Chicago side of the ball, it was just a trade that they had to have happen. I know you guys watched a lot of Bears football last year. DJ Moore jogs routes and gives up on plays. I'd say about 50% of the time last year. And that'll hurt your team, especially when you're playing with a young quarterback that looks to keep plays alive. And looking at the past 2 years, DJ Moore hasn't had a 1,000-yard season, and he's played every single game the past 2 years. So you have a top 10 contract, but you're not putting up top 10 receiver numbers. Like, you can't even give me 1,000 yards. And the worst thing about what I just said is his last 1,000-yard season came with Justin Fields. So he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season with Caleb Williams. And with that being said, you're on the books for $30 million next year. It was a great trade for the Bears. You need to get younger. I think Roma Doomsday is that number one receiver in that room. Luther Burden started coming on strong last year. You got Colston Loveland. I think you're just one receiver away, and I feel like that was a contract that you had to get off your books. So great trade. I feel like the Bills got a good receiver. They're not done though. They need to still go get a number one, a big target, just a guy, just a big time receiver. So I just hope the Bills aren't done there.
Jerrick.
Yeah, I agree. This was another good trade in my eyes. Like you said, the Bills, we've been dying for them to make a move to go and get a wide receiver, whether it was using their first round draft pick, like and actually hitting, or going out and signing a free agent, or trading for one. And they traded for DJ Moore, who, like, when we look at DJ Moore, he was a 1,000-yard wide receiver in North Carolina. Like, he was their number one guy. He was a top 10 wide receiver statistically at one point in his career. So for him to go over there and play with Josh Allen, I think that's going to make it a little bit easier for him. Like, when you look at him this past year, he had 682 receiving yards on a team where he was the second to third option at times, because we know their new rookie, Colston Loveland, became a big factor at the end of the season. Like, this is just, when you're Chicago and you have that elite talent of a quarterback, you don't need a bunch of guys around him. You honestly don't. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes doesn't always have named receivers around him. Yes, he has Travis Kelce. Now he has Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. But majority of the time in those playoff runs, the guys that make the plays aren't high-name guys. When you have a guy that talent, he's going to get the job done no matter what the cast of receivers he has. And when you look at Buffalo, you got to get a wide receiver. Like, we've seen Josh Allen produce with the guys he's been given, but it hasn't equated to you being able to get to the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm not knocking Josh Allen's talent at all, but he just hasn't been able to get there with the guys that he's been given. So you have to go out there and get better, and that's exactly what they did. Like Rell said, this shouldn't be the end, though. You need to go and get another wide receiver. If they were to sign Mike Evans, I would love that. If they were to go get another guy, I would love, like Rell said, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy, just a guy that's better than what you have on your roster. All of the top 4 or 5 free agent wide receivers, they're better than the guys you have on your roster right now. Like, you can look at, like we said, Mike Evans. I know people are going to look at me crazy. Alec Pierce, he's a free agent. You can go sign him. This is a guy who had 1,000 receiving yards off 47 catches. That's better than what you have right now in your locker. So I think that Buffalo's not done. You either go and sign a wide receiver or go and draft one, and you will be looking very, very scary next year. But this is what I love to see, especially under the new head coach. Like, he wants to maximize Josh Allen's opportunity. I love that.
Okay, Bills GM. Y'all need to listen to Jerrick. That boy know what he's talking about.
So I do disagree with what Jerrick said about Mahomes not having, like, name players. I mean, he's had Travis Kelce this whole run, right? So you have a guy.
Look at those some of the big plays that seals the game.
Doubt.
That's the job is to name guys.
No doubt, but every play that defense has to look for who?
Of course, Travis Kelce.
Every play I have to double team or look for Travis Kelce. Period. Like that. That's something Josh Allen has never. He's not had a guy since Stephon Diggs, of course, that you have to circle every single play because you know how much damage he can do, right? So, yes, this is the move you have to make. And y'all are not, DJ Moore is not that he's not elite, in my opinion, right? He can be a number one, but I wouldn't put him in the elite category. But this is a guy that can give you a 1,000-yard season. The Bills haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Stephon Diggs left, right? So you have a guy that can go get you 1,000 yards. That's a big plus. Like this, for this move to not look that great because it's DJ Moore, it's a big move in Buffalo's eyes because this is the best receiver I've had since Stephon left, and it's been 2 years, right? Khalil Shakir, his best receiver that he's had over the past 2 years, I think the year before last, he had 800. This year, he has 700. Like, he just can't get – he's not a 1,000-yard receiver. So you at least need one of those, right? So him with Khalil and Dalton Kincaid, I like the room already. Yes, you want them to add more, and I kind of want them to go bigger than DJ Moore. But I got to take it because I've been asking them to do this. I've been begging them to do this, and they finally did it. One thing I like about this move that's very underrated is that DJ Moore played with Joe Brady in Carolina, right, in 2020. And in 2020, DJ Moore had 1,193 receiving yards, and he was getting 18.1 yards per catch. right? That's something that the Bills don't really have. They don't have a guy that can stretch the field like that, period. Like Khalil Shakir is their best receiver. Guys, he is a dump it off to him, go get some yak. He's a slant, drag kind of guy. He's not a guy that can run down the field. DJ Moore is. So this offense automatically gets better no matter what they do next. And y'all are right. They should keep going all in on the offense. But this is the only move they make. Hey, I got to shut up and be okay with it because this is what I want them to do. Now, the other best part about this is they only traded a second round pick. They didn't trade a first round pick, right? So we don't think DJ Moore is that elite. Yeah, he wasn't worth a first round pick. So he's not that elite. They got him for a second round pick. But I'm still nervous about the first round pick because, as I said in one of my videos that I did, their first round picks have not been great. The Buffalo Bills. Like their draft process need to be studied because last year they drafted Maxwell Harrison, who only played like 11 games. So we got to still see if he's, legit or not. Before that, Dalton Kincaid. He's solid, right? You wouldn't say elite, right? But he's solid. He's good enough to keep. But before that, you drafted Kyrie Elam, who was a bust, right? Cornerback who went to 2 other teams since he got drafted here. Greg Russo, who is good, but I looked up the fact that he has 0 sacks in every playoff loss that they have since they drafted him. So in every playoff loss, he doesn't have 1 sack in any of those games. So he's not being effective in the biggest games. Ed Oliver, who is in trade talks. I've seen a mock trade on Twitter that said Ed Oliver, first round pick this year, first round pick next year for Max Crosby. I'll do it in a heartbeat. Send it right now. If that is something that the Raiders would want to see. And then before that, Tremaine Edmonds, who is no longer with the team. So their first round picks have not really panned out like you want them to be, especially when you're a team that's in win now mode with Josh Allen. And the whole, hey, I got Josh Allen, I don't need no crazy weapons. That whole theory is out the door because we have seen this for the past 2 years and it has not worked out. Right? You haven't been to the AFC Championship. Actually, you did. I'm sorry. You lost to the Chiefs the year before last. But it has not worked out. And a big part of y'all losing is because Josh Allen doesn't have a guy to just throw the ball to on any given down. Guys, this year, in the biggest play of the game against the Broncos, who did he throw the ball to?
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks, bro. That was the guy he had to rely on in overtime against the Broncos to go to the AFC Championship. And you saw how that worked out, right? So to have a guy like DJ Moore, to me, it's an instant upgrade. I'm going to be grateful and be happy with it because I've been begging for them to do this for the past 2 years. They finally did it. They might not be done. Who knows? But I think it was a good move for the Bills.
Yo, they feeling like and sub and leave a comment down below. Yo.